everybody, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Infinity on the HermitCraft server. Oh yeah, guys. So, as you can see here, I changed out our base a little bit. I got rid of that white cobblestone on the floor. I was thinking, you know, that just doesn't look that good. Let's go ahead and remove it. Somebody had mentioned in the comments that we can chisel wooden planks, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. So yeah, I looked at what we can do, and I decided on these, kind of like a cool little weave pattern. I like that. So we got these detailed stone bricks around the outside. We got the spruce wood planks, the little weave pattern down below us. I have sectioned this off into two parts. So we got this main area here, and then we got some rooms. So yeah, I did the same kind of a setup over here. The same kind of a border, the same kind of wood. Yep, I like it. Back over here, it's the same thing. It just kind of sectioned off this area, divided it into two rooms. So yeah, I think we're looking pretty good now. I'm probably going to continue to upgrade this and change out the materials as we get more. But for now, I think this will work. I'm not actually too happy with the way these guys look. I'm thinking we might either use BIOMESOP or we might use the Forge multi-part, the micro blocks, and make some kind of like a table instead of like this whole bookshelf enclosed thing. Yeah, I don't know. I thought this was going to be a good idea at the start, but I've been looking at it and it really feels like it's out of place. So, yep, that's something we will have to do. In fact, it might even look better if this was, instead of too thick, it was only one thick. It kind of just sticks out too far. But anyway, yeah, I'll work on that off camera. So today, I want to start working on getting a little bit of power. I want to see if we can get ourselves a jetpack and start doing some flight. And then, if we still got time later, I would like to jump into a Mystcraft world and start looking for pages. I don't know if we're going to have time to do that. I hope so, because I really want to get that done. But yeah, first things first. Let's go ahead and start looking what we need. Wait a second. How did I get a stack of uranium? Oh, okay. You know what? Oh my goodness. I would show you guys, but I don't want to show off Biffa's base. These are Biffa's. I will return those off camera or between cuts here. Yeah, that's my fault. I will return those to him. So we need to start looking at power generation. So let's see, generator, and we also have dynamos, I believe, are the ways we create RF. So we could go the RF route or we could go the IC2 route. I think we're going to go RF just because it's easier to do, and there's more things that use RF than the IC2, the EU power. So we have a bunch of different types of generators we can make. We can make solar, TNT, nether star. We don't quite have nether stars yet. There's survivalist generator, which makes a lot of power slowly, or we can use like a furnace generator, which makes power quicker. Lava generator under heated redstone. I think we're going to end up doing, let's just make ourselves a furnace generator. This will work off charcoal. Coal or charcoal, I believe, or wood or anything like that. So yeah, this is pretty easy to do. It's just going to take some iron and a furnace. We got, oh, you know, we're probably going to be running low on iron here in a little bit. Do I have cobblestone? I do. I need to get a crafting table on the other side of our base. Okay, let's do it over here. So we need a iron block. What else was there? We need a furnace and a couple pieces of redstone so we can make the furnace real quick. Redstone. Let's see, that's the furnace generator. Yep. So we got everything we need. All right, there we go. There's our first power generation device. Awesome. So let's go ahead and put this guy, oh, I don't know, right here for now. So yeah, very basic interface. I believe it can use planks. Let's just try sticking one in there. Yep, okay, so that'll give us 4 seconds worth of power generation, which will make us 3,750 RF a tick. Now, 3,750 RF. Okay, it doesn't say how much this converts into. It just says burn time of 300. Right, so we also need some things that this can be used with. So one of those things that I want to make is a powered furnace because I'm tired of using regular furnace. No, actually it's called a redstone furnace now. Redstone furnace, okay. So we need a machine frame, reinforced, resonant, basic. So 10 gears, some glass, some iron. All right. Where is that zombie? That guy is driving me crazy. Is he over here? There he is. Die, zombie. Get out of here. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get this stuff made. I tell you guys what, I'm going to go ahead and make a few of these items off camera. We're going to need the furnace generator. I'm also going to make the pulverizer so we can smash up ores. Yeah, these are all basically the same kinds of recipes. They just use the machine frames and a few other random parts here to make them. Yeah, these other recipes are just to upgrade them further. Yeah, so let me go ahead and make some of these parts, guys, and we will be right back. Alright guys, so we got our furnace generator here, and I went ahead and I made some of these other items. I made a redstone furnace and a pulverizer. So I went to go put the redstone furnace right next to our generator, just like so, so they're touching. But we're not getting power over here. So I was thinking, how are we going to get power to the redstone furnace and the pulverizer if this furnace generator isn't actually sending power over? So I went ahead and I was looking at different pipes, different things. So we have different conduits in the pack. So I was looking at these right here from Ender.io. These require conductive iron. Let's see, you smelt iron and redstone together in an alloy smelter to get this. And then you need this binder composite. You need to smelt that, and that requires gravel, sand, clay. So I made this without really thinking about needing that binder composite. Yeah, and then I got to thinking, you know, there's BuildCraft in this pack, so we could just use some of these pipes. So I went ahead and I made some of these things. So this is a wooden kinesis pipe. You need this to start extracting power from something. I'm pretty sure that's how this works. And then you can use cobblestone or any of the next tiers to move that power from one place to the other. You can see that blue line is now sucking the power out of here, and it is bringing it over into our redstone furnace, which is awesome. Okay, so that's how we're going to get power from one place to the other. We're going to use BuildCraft stuff for now. I had started messing around with making this conductive iron, but honestly, I think getting all this binder composite stuff, yeah, I don't have the sand right now. I just turned all my sand into glass. I used the glass for these pipes and all of this stuff. So now I got to figure out where we're actually going to put these machines so we can get our operations going here. But yeah, I went ahead and I did make a few more of these pipes. The cobblestone pipes are super cheap. They're just a piece of glass with cobblestone on either side. Get you 8 of those. And you just take one of those and mix that with a piece of redstone, and now you have an energy pipe. So yeah, very, very cheap. I like it. That'll transfer power all the way over. Yeah, we got to figure out a permanent location for these machines so we can take our ores that we have and smelt them down. Now, I did take some of our iron ore. Ooh, it's raining. I took some of our iron ore over here to our community smelter, and I smelted up like 18 blocks worth of iron. But yeah, these recipes and stuff, especially the early game ones, take a whole lot of iron, so we don't have that much of it left. We're down to 8 blocks. We already used 10 blocks worth, I think. So yeah, very crazy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start moving these machines to a more permanent location. This might even be our room that we set it up in. I don't know yet. But yeah, let me move these to a more permanent location, start smelting up some of our ores, and we will be right back. Okay guys, so I've been busy here. I've been doing a lot of crafting and stuff. So I got our machine set up over here, and I made a couple of new things. So we have our pulverizer and our redstone furnace. So anything we put in the pulverizer is set up to eject over to the furnace. The furnace is set to receive it. Anything it smelts is set to go into this chest. So we got a few things in here that I've been doing. Okay, so we also have an energetic infuser. This thing right here, it's currently filling up full of power. But if you put a tool in here, or like one of these hardened flux capacitors, for instance, it will charge it up, and then once it's done, it will eject it over to this chest. So that also comes over here. So the furnace and the energetic infuser output everything to this chest. And also set the alloy smelter over here. One thing I realized with the alloy smelter, it actually retains its power when you break it and set it back down. anything that's actually in the output slot here also stays in there. So that's pretty cool. I have a leadstone energy cell here just as like a buffer for power. So we can hold an additional 400,000 RF. And then we have our furnace generator back here that's providing all the power. I kind of put these, what are these? The marble covers around just to block the piping and stuff. But you can kind of see that stuff over here. I'm gonna remove some of these. Yeah. So you can see where the power is going and all of that stuff. Unfortunately, the way these the wooden kinesis pipes work, you can't put a wooden kinesis pipe like on this side and have it go into this furnace and through this pipe. It can't export power into a thing. It has to go into like one of these cobblestone pipes, and those can export power. So originally I had the wood one right here. It was connected to the furnace and over this direction, but the furnace never got power. So I had to move that down below and kind of loop around like this so our redstone furnace gets power from this thing. But yeah, the furnace generator back here is sending power into the leadstone cell, and the leadstone cell is providing power for all these machines. Okay, these marble covers don't work with the pipes, so they have to go on the outside of the block. It's too bad. We'd have to use something like the Buildcraft facades, actually facades. We'd have to use the facades on this in order for these to fill up the same block and actually go on those pipes. But yeah, unfortunately they don't do that, so I just kind of wrap some marble covers around just to hide the piping a little bit. I mean, this setup's going to change eventually. It's just kind of a basic setup. So anyway, we got this thing all set up, and I was like, you know, we have this energetic infuser. What's the next step? We should make ourselves a jetpack, right? Right. So I made everything that we need for a jetpack, and there we go. A leadstone jetpack, tier 1. But I also, as you can see the stuff in my inventory here, went a little bit further, and I made everything that I need for the hardened jetpack, the tier 2. If you craft it with a flux capacitor that's full, the jetpack retains that power too when you craft it, which is awesome. So there we go. Now we have flight. We're at a tier 2 hardened jetpack. So I can just press spacebar and hover. That's awesome. So the engine on and off, there's a mode so I can turn hover on and off. I'm gonna have to figure that out actually. This is the first time I have, where is it? Yeah, the first time I have used a jetpack in this. Conflicting maybe. So we need to find one in here. That glider toggle, no. Goggles, belt, zoom. Sprint boost key, nope. So it's not conflicting, so which button is it? Dark steel armor, let's find it. Gravity suit. IC2, inventory, miscellaneous. Nope, movement, nope. Multiplayer, railcraft, simply jetpack. Switch mode, Z. Okay, so it's Z. Aha, there it is. Whoop. Whoops, I accidentally hit the Windows key and that took me out of full screen mode and stopped the recording. My bad, my mistake. So Z, so we can hit Z and we hover down a little bit. We can take hover off and we just drop like a rock. Very good, very good. So I think there's probably another thing we're gonna want with all of this. And that is the open blocks glider. Because that way we can go really high up and then switch off our jetpack onto a glider and not use power all of the time. So we need 2 glider wings, which is leather and 2 sticks. So that seems pretty inexpensive actually. So let's get ourselves a log so we can make ourselves some sticks. I got a bunch of leather earlier from cows. Let's see, what was it, 6? Was it 6 or 5? It's 6. Okay, so we need 12 leather total. And we'll do this. Yep, and then sticks. Okay, so 2 glider wings, and we put those together with a stick in the center. So yeah, pretty easy. Just like this. Yep. Hang glider. Okay, so hang glider. You right click on it, and you can glide for a distance. So that's awesome. So what that means is we don't have to have our jetpack on hover. We can put it on hover if we want to, but I think that conflicts with the hang glider. Anyway, this will allow us to move around a lot easier. Let's actually go outside and see what we can do. So So we'll fly up. Is hover on? I think you go up slower when hover's on. Yeah, you do. Okay, so hover's off. Yeah, first time we'll be able to see what's going on around us. Okay, okay. So there's our zombie spawner way over there. Ooh, we can actually go up to the clouds. That's awesome. All right, so I think we can just kind of hover in the clouds, right? Oh, I thought we were going to be able to see through it. We can kind of see through it. Ah, but then they come back. That's too bad. Okay, so now we're falling like a rock. Put on the hang glider. And now we can just kind of hover and check out whatever we want. Yes, this is great. This is the first step to us being able to have freedom and go wherever we want, do whatever we want. Ah, that's so good. Okay, let's fall like a rock for a little bit. Not die. Click that back on before you hit the ground. Looks like I'm lagging a little bit. All right, so now that we have this, we also have this hardened flux capacitor. So this has used up a little bit of power. If I right click on this, I do believe that'll recharge this. Oh, maybe I have to have this in my hand in order. How does that work? Okay, yeah, I have to have it selected. This has to be on my hotbar. This has to be in my hand selected. And then it recharges it. So now that's full power, and this has lost a little bit of its power. Okay, so that's like battery backup. If we get somewhere, we get stuck, we have a way to recharge. Let's go ahead and do that. Fill this guy back up. Yeah, that fills up fairly quickly. Whoop, went into the chest. Great. All right, so now that we have a hang glider and we have a hardened jetpack, I think the next thing we should do is go check out Mystcraft. I want to make a world. I want to go exploring, find some dungeons. What am I looking at over here? Oh, that's a horse. Yeah, I want to find some dungeons. I want to go exploring all of that stuff. Oh, I forgot I had the... I already forgot that I had the jetpack. Okay. So we can just kind of use our glider and we can go up in the sky like this and check out the water and the streams and stuff like that around. Oh my goodness. You know what? Actually, I was thinking we're going to have to kill some squid to get... What do we need? The ink sacs to do all the Mystcraft stuff? I'm pretty sure that I have already killed a few squid and we have a little bit of ink sacs in our inventory back here. Let's go take a look at that real quick. This is so much fun. I love being able to fly around. So good. Okay, so back here in our inventory, is it this chest? Yeah, we got 29 ink sacs. All right, so we're going to have to, let's see, do... Mystcraft? Yeah, we need to get some of these things going here. So we need the ink mixer, which is just stone and wood. We need the book binder, which is wood and iron. We need the link modifier. No, not link modifier. What am I talking about? I think that's creative mode only. What else do we need? We need the book binder, the ink mixer. I thought there was something else. Maybe that's all we need, just those two items. Oh no, we need a writing desk. This guy right here. So that is a glass bottle, a feather, and some wood. All right, guys, let me go ahead and make those things real quick, and we will be right back. All right, guys, so we got some things set up here. I made myself the writing desk. I went ahead and made the book binder and the ink mixer. So to get this started, in the ink mixer, you have to put some paper, and then you got to use these ink files. Ink file is a bottle of water plus 2 ink sacs. So we can go ahead and do that. This palette fills up with ink, and then we get the link panel page. Okay, so we're going to need a bunch of these. I think you need one of these for every book you want to get back and for every world you want to create. So we've made 2 of those. Over here, we can copy pages with this thing. I think in order to make a book to get back, let's take a piece of leather. Do we have to do this in our crafting grid like this? Yeah, okay, so that makes an unlinked link book. So this guy, wherever we right click this, will be a portal back to wherever we're standing currently. So if I'm standing right here and I right click on it, when we use this in another dimension, it'll take us right back to this point. So this is how we get back from a Mystcraft world. Very important that we have one of these on us. In fact, it's so important, I'm going to make another one and keep it in my ender pouch just in case. Okay, so now we got 2 link books linked right back to the same spot. Let's get our ender pouch. Stick one in here just so we always have a way back home. This will be our current way home. Okay, so we need to make ourselves another link panel page. We'll take this. Let's see. I think if we just stick it right here, then we get a descriptive book. So this is how we make ourselves a random world. This is our first step to actually making Mystcraft ages and things that we want. So we'll go ahead and take that. So we just got our achievement, one-way ticket. Yeah, don't forget your linking book. So another thing we need to do, let's make ourselves some lecterns. So when we get to an age, we can set down our books. So that's just planks and stick. That's not too bad. Okay, so we'll just grab some of this stuff. Do that. I can't remember what the recipe is. You know what? Let's do this. Wait, is that wrong? What did I do wrong here? I have sticks and planks. All right, well, I'm not sure why I didn't like that. Actually, where's all my stuff? Okay, I guess I was blind. I thought it took it away from me. There we go. Here's some lecterns. All right, we got 4 of those. So we're going to want those with us. When you use a book, it drops to the ground. And if it's raining, it'll get damaged and destroyed. We don't want that. So just go ahead and set this down right here. We will put our descriptive book on it. This takes us to age 2. I do believe that is the first Mystcraft world that has been created so far. Let's see, what else do we need? We have a lectern ready. We have a linking book back to the overworld. That's like the first thing you want to do when you go to a Mystcraft age. Sit down a lectern or a book stand and then put your linking book on it. You want to set a waypoint. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need to do. I guess what else we should do is take all of our more important stuff and stick it in our ender pouch just in case we die. You never know if that's going to happen. We want all of our expensive stuff that we don't want lost, that's not super important to have on us, put away. I think that's fine. Sleeping bag we're not going to need. I guess we'll stick that in there for now. Get on my bar. Okay. I think we're good. I think we are set. So we have the linking book back. We have our descriptive book to the age. Let's just go ahead and do this. So I clicked on it. It's going to take a little bit. It's going to actually generate some chunks. So, oh, we got a rainbow. So everybody is probably going to experience a little bit of lag on the server. But that's fine. This is something that's going to happen. We do have sun. Crazy rainbow. Ice biome. Okay, we're taking a bunch of damage here. This isn't good. Let's go ahead and get this down right away just in case. Now sometimes the damage only occurs if you have direct exposure to the outside. Alright, so that's what happens. We can regain our health as long as we have a cover above our head. That's packed ice. That's awesome. So this isn't a very friendly area. Let's see. If I hit J, we can see our map. Okay, so we have wolves and we have squid. Yeah, I don't think this is a good one. Unless we can protect ourselves so we don't take damage just by being out in the open. If we take a little bit of falling damage or something like that, we're going to die since we always are going to have that poison effect. I think it's time that we just go back to the overworld. Okay, so we came back to the overworld, and that was alright. I think we're going to do it one more time. We need to make ourselves another linking book. Let's go and grab that guy. I'm going to need another piece of leather. Yeah, we'll make ourselves another linking book. I always want to keep one in my ender pouch, just in case. Where's my... Oh, you know what? I have it all in the bookbinder over here. Yeah, we're going to have to actually go farm some cows, too. We don't have a whole lot of leather, but we got enough to get us by for now. So leather, this, unlinked book. Let's go ahead and link it. Okay, so that's done. We need to make ourselves another descriptive book. So we'll make one more panel. Stick that right in here. Hopefully we'll have better luck and we won't have so much like bad stuff going on. So we can just right click that onto the lectern. We got our linking book back. I think we're set. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll go to age 3. Okay, we got rain. No rainbow. Come on. Aha, endstone. Interesting. We got crystals around. Ooh, this actually might be a good place to do what we want to do here. Yep, a little bit of lag. Sorry about that, DMAC. Should be good now. Okay. So we have crystals, which means we can make Mystcraft portals. We're not getting damage all the time. It's probably going to be raining all the time, which sucks. But we'll be able to get past that. So now the next step that we are able to collect these, we can make our own portals and stuff. But the next step we need to do in this Mystcraft age is go around and find libraries and collect pages so we can actually make a world that we want. The Mystcraft worlds are very good for going around and trying to find dungeons and things like that. Obviously, we can get endstone. That's awesome. We don't have to go to the end for that. What are the uses for endstone? Uh-oh. That's a bad guy right there. I want out of here. Yeah, that's one of the special mobs or whatever that will wreck us. We don't want any part of that. So let's fly up. We'll use our hang glider for a little bit. Try and get away from that guy. Looks like he came out of a cave. He spawned in a dark spot. Maybe it's not so necessary that we set a waypoint because we'll always be able to find our way back. However, I really don't want to take a chance. So I'm going to wait for this guy to despawn. I don't want him to get to us. Yep. Tell you what, I'm going to wait for him to despawn. Once he does that, we will set our waypoint and check out this world a little bit. Whoop, let's not go down there. All right, so we're coming to our first library. Looks like a little bit of oil spawned there and it's just flowing out. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we're coming to our first library. Let's go ahead and right-click again before we die. We don't want to die here. So it looks like there's a creeper in this thing. I can see on the mini-map right below me there's a creeper somewhere. But yeah, these libraries are what our targets are. Yep, there's a creeper right there. Can we... I don't have my sword. Let's grab this guy. Yeah, these libraries will have extra pages and things like that for us. Okay, creeper gone. I think that's... Oh no, we got a guy over here somewhere. Well, I see a named mob on the mini-map. I think he's in a cave or something below. I think we should be fine to come down here. Go ahead and do this. We'll block it up. Make sure we're safe in here so we can kind of look around and see what we need to see. All right, so what do we get here? We got an amplified normal world. That's pretty cool. We got spontaneous explosions. I don't think we want that. Another spontaneous explosions. Cave world. That's pretty good. That'd be great for resource collecting. Accelerated. I believe that makes it so the sun and the moon go faster. So another thing we can do, let's go ahead and grab our lumber axe. That'll make collecting this stuff way easier. So inside on one of these corners is always a chest, and that chest has pages, or it has pages and, what is that called? A notebook. But yeah, this is a great way to collect books. Very awesome. Always want to take a lumber axe with you so you can get all this stuff. I forget what all the books we would need these for. I know in like one of the Mystcraft versions, all you had to do is take one of these books, put it into your crafting grid, and that would make you a linking book, but that doesn't work anymore. Oh, actually, this turns back into paper, so that's a good reason to take that. Okay, very good, very good. So accelerated, we got fog color, taiga M biome, river biome, biomass block. Interesting. And meadow forest biome. So biomass, I assume this will be a modifier for an ocean, so we can make an entire world out of biomass. That's a decent way to get power, I suppose. All right, well, we came and we saw. Not a whole lot of stuff here. We got a jetpack still on. Yeah, let's come down here and grab this. So it looks like it does become nighttime outside, which means we're probably going to have bad guys around. There are a lot of animals, which is good. Yep. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to hang out here until it's daytime. I don't want to go outside when it's night. Just block these up with some of these crystals. yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wait, and we will be right back, guys. All right, guys, so I just found ourselves another one of these libraries. Looks like I lagged a bit. My map's gone kind of funky, or maybe it's just because I'm inside. But anyway, I went about 1,000 blocks up here, and then I kind of went over this way, and then I came back down, and I just found another library, which we're in right now. So let's check this out. We got Page Lightning. Okay, so that is a weather effect. We got Accelerated, which is a sun and moon effect. Spontaneous Explosions, I think we already had. Accelerated, that's another one, right? Yeah, I think... Why did those not stack? Don't they stack? Okay, they stack. And Amplified Normal World. I think that is, again, something we already had. So let's check back here. No, it's on the other side this time. There it is. There's a bunch of pages. Okay. Oh, and I actually dropped a notebook, too. So we'll get even more pages, which is great. So Redstone Ore Block. That's awesome. Mesa Plateau. Meadows Forest. Blood Block. Interesting. I wonder if that is like the liquid blood stuff from blood magic, maybe? I don't know. So in the notebook, what do we got here? Ooh, look at all these. So blood block again. Paho lava block, okay. Ice block, steam block, coniferous forest, forest, Mesa Plateau M, Oak Savanna, distilled water block. Interesting. I'm not even sure what distilled water is. Protein block. Okay. Stone block. Meadow forest biome. Ender starfield. So that's a change for the sky. Just a visual effect. Amplified normal world again. Spikes. Meteors. Interesting. I think those are those. Wait. No, meteors are atmospheric explosions. Yeah, we don't really want that. But that's awesome that we got this book, this notebook, because now we can just put our pages in here. I took the other pages we had and I stuck it in my ender pouch. Yeah, we can take all those out and stick these in the notebook. The notebook is actually pretty cheap. I think it's just 3 leather in a V, like you're making a bowl in vanilla Minecraft. Pretty inexpensive, and it can store, I think, unlimited pages. So yeah, very cool, very, very cool. Okay, guys. So yeah, I was just looking at the time while I was waiting for it to turn day before I started taking off again. And it looks like we're over our 30-minute mark, which I try and keep our videos to. Yeah, I'm getting a bit of lag here. I think it's terrain generation and all that stuff. So I'm going to make my way back to my waypoint, which is over here. Yeah, I'm going to make my way over there. I'm probably going to collect some more crystals. And probably off camera, I'm going to go ahead and collect a little bit more pages, I do believe. So why is my hang glider not working? I just right-clicked it again. There it goes. Okay, here we go, here we go. So yeah, I'm going to make my way back out of here. I think we're done for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you did like it. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.